Happy New Year. We just had to talk to you on this wonderful ending of the old year, beginning of the new year. And we're celebrating with a very fine vintage. Happy New Year. Mm. Let me show you this amazing beverage. It is a very good vintage year of Canada Dry. Canada,
Everybody should do this on New Year's
it's
Eve because it keeps
imported.
you out of trouble.
It's imported from Canada. Well, you know what? It's a little early. It's not real champagne and it's not really New Year's yet, but it is New Year's Eve. So, is your
And
Christmas?
since I have to walk all the way home,
That's right. That's right. Show me the way to walk home.
Tired, I don't want to go to bed.
That's getting old for you, you know? But so we wanted to share a little bit about, first of all, is your tree still up? Mine is. My decorations are up. When do you take your tree down?
After the Epiphany.
And what is that also known as?
What is it also known as?
The 12th day of Christmas.
I didn't know.
All these years and you didn't figure that out?
No, I didn't. I know it now.
And it is also the day of the arrival of
Three Kings.
Otherwise known as?
Well, I'm sorry.
Wise men.
Oh, I missed the question totally. I'm sorry.
It goes to show that, maybe the
Canada Dry.
Canada Dry. L'chaim. It also goes to show that the shepherds came first. They just saw the star and went, whoa. And the angel said, go over there because there's an amazing thing has happened. And then it took the wise men a little longer. So wisdom takes a little longer.
So do camels.
So do camels. We watched our movie the other night, The Nativity.
Really an exceptional one. If you've never seen it and you're interested, it really is a beautiful movie.
Yeah, it really gives you the feeling of it. So we wanted to make sure we told you today about not rushing through the holidays. That you've got until January 6th. It's called Little Christmas in Mexico. And
do you remember what the day after Christmas is called?
Yes, it's Boxing Day.
Boxing Day.
We had that discussion. Remember that discussion we had a couple of weeks ago? And of course I looked it up because that's what I do, Johnny Five input. So it was a day that people returned gifts, but that wasn't the real thing. The real thing,
exchange gifts.
Giving stuff to the poor.
Yeah.
And that is something to think about, especially if you've got children at home. You think not when they're over 21, that doesn't fly so much. When they're younger, you can teach them to share and to give of themselves. Get rid of half of those toys that now have no more room on your shelves. Don't be a toy hoarder. Truly, truly. Well, there is another special thing that we want to make sure that we have in this season. I know I gave you one of these. I know.
Oh boy.
Queen Anne. What are they? Queen Anne cherries. They are the chocolate covered cherries. And so we are going to
show you how to eat them.
Take a bite. We got to teach it because it's liquid in there. Oh, see?
It's very messy.
It's all gooey.
Oh boy, it's sweet.
Sweet. It's really so sweet, like a half would be good. But you see?
Not once you bite it.
It's all over my fingers. Now, I had an aha moment when I ate one of those the other day. Do you know what that is?
An aha moment?
Yeah. No, what my aha moment with this was.
No idea.
When you bite into it, you don't get a whole cherry anymore.
Really?
It's like a half.
I'll take mine back out of my mouth and take a look.
Well, here it is. It's a half.
Is that cheap or what? It's almost as bad as going to Dunkin' Donuts like I did the other day.
Oh my
And
God.
finding out they don't do a senior discount anymore on your beverage. Well, how cheap is that?
Hmm. And not only
I
that,
waited all these years to become a senior. Now they don't want to give me my discount.
yeah. And there were complaints about it online. Wake up, Dunkin' Donut.
I better get with it.
Oh, that is so sweet. It catches
Well,
you in
boy.
the throat.
Mm-mm.
Hang on.
More of this Canada Dry.
Canada Dry. Anyway, so we have some out of the old and into the new year, and we're gonna probably do some of that Christmas stuff later. Not today, but because we definitely didn't cover everything that we wanted to. Isn't that
We
wonderful?
never will. We've got so many things that we could talk about.
Yeah, probably.
I don't see us ever stopping.
Yeah. So we wanted to do a video every week, for sure. And we went out and got all these headbands. There's a bunch of them in a bag in my room.
I'm sure none of you noticed it.
You didn't notice that we have this our holiday decor. That holiday decor is going on for a while, and probably even during what is it, 4th of July or Christmas in July. We may drag them out again. But we are celebrating New Year's Eve. And wanted to share a little bit about New Year's Eve back when. Now, do you remember New Year's Eve much as a kid?
All I remember is our folks always had a party, or one of their best friends always had a party, and it was a major event. And any people who had kids, the kids would come along and they would put them to bed in whoever's house it was, in the bed, and they would stay there until the parents were straight enough to drive home.
Yeah, right.
I'm assuming that was what I wasn't old enough to know what that was all about. It was odd sleeping in somebody else's bed, though, I'll tell you that much.
It was. At least I had you, so I was like,
That's right. Like I protected you so much.
but anyway, so yeah, and they had their little party. And if nothing else, they'd probably be playing cards. Then when I got to be a little older, Uncle Andy would have me babysit his kids. And it was real easy. There were just 2 of them at that time. And Aunt Mary would give me a TV dinner.
Oh, that was the joy of
That was
babysitting.
that,
I
right?
never babysat. I hated it. Never did that. Didn't want the money more than I wanted.
I wanted the money more, so
No.
I did it for the money. Yep. But it was nice because we had the TV dinner and put the kids to bed, and I hung out. I was probably sleeping on the couch when they came home. I don't have a lot of memory of that. And then we had our period of time when we were, well, some of us had a longer period of time between when we got married and had children. So I had like 3+ years where I was, just my husband and myself. And you had
Months.
months. It was a miracle, baby. It was a whole fully grown baby in less than 9 months. It was a miracle.
It was a miracle. God said,
Now
"You
is
can
the
have a baby."
time.
I said, now?
Now, wait a minute. Put the cart before the horse. Anyway, it was lovely. While she was having New Year's Eve at home, we would go out occasionally to a party, not a house party. We listen, and you got. I think we had another couple with us, but you got this really, like, barely warm food. I mean, you can only feed 200 people, that fast. That the food was kind of, and the chicken was, and everybody got really drunk. I didn't, and I don't know, high tolerance, but everybody had a good time, and you're around a bunch of boisterous, pushy drunks.
You waited for years to get to be that age where you could do that. I mean,
Yeah,
that
legally.
was the thing that you were supposed to want to do.
Yeah,
We couldn't even do that. We had a baby at home.
that's right. That's right. So we did that 1 year before kids. Steve and I went to Times Square, New York City. Did you ever want to go to Times Square and watch that ball come down?
Actually, truth be told, no.
Yeah. Well, if you've been thinking about it,
Parade on television was pretty good.
yeah, well, that's the Rose Parade the next day.
Bread's great.
Yeah, yeah. But the thing is, we went there and it was very cold. And in New York, people are not always necessarily polite.
No, you can say that again.
And the streets were so crowded, you felt like you were one of those little silver balls in the pinball machine.
And when you're not over 5 feet tall, it makes it
Yes,
twice as
that's
hard.
right. 4'10.5". and so it was pushy, it was cold, it was busy. They had piped in music, and so we had to get a break and get out of the crowd. So down the street was this little restaurant called Zachos, and it was a Mexican, probably restaurant and bar. We didn't have any food; we just had drinks. And when I think back in those days, I had never touched Mexican food. There was none, not even Taco Bell. That didn't come around till our kids were like, my kids were like 8 to 10. Yeah, the older ones were 8 to 10, and Mexican Village came in up in by Stores,
Right.
and that was our first Mexican food, and it was a little gringo, but it was very tasty. So anyway, we went to Zachos. We had a drink. The ball dropped down the road a ways, and we went to the thing. We're going to get a midnight snack to bring back to the hotel. Now you have to remember this was 1964 going into 65, okay? And every time there's a big holiday, what do? Pay more.
Absolutely.
And so we're looking back in the 60s, which was a large number of years ago. And I ordered 2 hamburgers, 2 French fries, and 2 coffees. Now, this isn't going to shock you today because you pay that for the French fries, but back in the day, it was $11.75. I thought I was going to drop. This was in the days of McDonald's having a hamburger, a Coke, and a French fries for 45 cents. Can you do the math? 45 cents for a 3-course meal at McDonald's. But in New York on Christmas Eve, it was $11.75. I told the guy to keep his food. I would take the coffee. And that was it.
That was very brave.
I just really didn't have that kind of money.
No, you were in New York City. You're lucky you had anything left in your pocket.
Yeah, we did have a hotel room, thank God. Yeah, that was another really interesting.
Yeah.
And then we, and many people watching, experienced the rollover for Y2K. Oh,
Yeah.
the things. Everyone was prepared for everything to shut down.
Yep.
The science behind it, or the conspiracy theory, whatever
Whatever it
was that the all the binary numbers 10100100, that when it rolled over from 19001999 to 2000, everything just couldn't handle it. The system couldn't take it, and people were they were storing food. They were preppers. They were all prepped for what would happen. I have a dear friend. He was a brilliant guy and a little bit of a psychic. He missed the point on that one. He wrote a book about Y2K. You know, I gave that away.
The book?
Yeah. I so wish I hadn't, because what a keepsake that would be.
Yeah.
When they expected the whole world to shut down. And it didn't.
You didn't sleep well that night, I'll tell you that much, because you kept thinking about it, waiting for the sun to come creeping up over the hill, you know. That's not a good thing.
They didn't have internet then, did they? Did they?
I don't know.
I mean,
never
they
paid
had
much
it.
attention to it.
I don't think I had it. I don't think I got it till I went to Virginia. I don't know. But they expected internet, everything in the world. Phones wouldn't work, you know. So that was planes would crash, you know. There was horrible nightmares about what was going to happen.
And none of it happened. But boy, did they build it up.
That is true. And then we both moved on to our holiday, our New Year's holiday, being,
Family.
yeah, we had the
You
family.
didn't take your family to any parade. That's ridiculous. First of all, you couldn't afford it. Second of all, the weather was always crummy. You couldn't get a place to stand in line. Pushing and shoving. No, you start having family parties at home.
We went to dinner and a movie.
We went to a movie and then dinner.
Well, we would go to in Middletown over by where Staples is now.
Yep.
Remember Debbie Wong?
Yep.
Well, Debbie Wong restaurant was there, so we would go over and get Chinese food, and I would get, this was when I was still eating meat. I would get an order of egg rolls to take with me. And so we would be that. Yeah, you ever try to sneak into a movie with some hot egg rolls?
No, can't even visualize that. No,
But
no.
we would go there and we would have a movie. We'd have dinner at Debbie Wong, have the movie with my little snuck in egg rolls, and then we would go right across the way. I don't know what's there now. Could be the Olympic Diner, but I'm not sure. But there used to be a big friendly ice cream,
They're gone.
and we would yeah, and yeah. So but that was our thing. We go in there and get a sundae, and I can tell you which one. Like my kids, Nick especially loved the ice cream sundae that had the it's not Skittles. Oh, phooey, what was it? The round, the things that they had in ET. Reese's Pieces. So he would get the Reese's Pieces. And I think the last time we did that was right before I got a divorce.
Now the story starts getting juicy, you know?
And it was that night. It was that night. The priest used to tell me when the time is right, you'll know it. It was.
That was the time.
It was. It was. But I know. I see. Here's the thing. It was tragic. It was horrible for everybody. Pretty horrible for everybody before that. But when it happened, but this goes to show you lived through it.
Yeah.
You lived somehow. You lived through it, and we all did. And but there were many good New Year's Eves after that, and now we're at the point where it's basically staying home.
Yeah, and being happy to be able to do that. You got a nice warm house. You're not worried about the world coming to an end. It's just nice. It's just quiet. Got a nice, safe place to be.
Yeah, so that's kind of so. Here's a little interesting thing that we are okay being alone on New Year's Eve.
Obviously, we're not alone, but
Well,
we will
tonight
be, we will be at
when
midnight
when
because
the
I'm not being
clock
be
turns
here.
over, it'll be you and Harry Potter
Me
and
and Harry
me
Potter.
and my stuffed cat. I'll just toast here, Tishy. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, but we don't mind it. And also one of the reasons we don't mind it is we are busy.
Yeah, we can be around people when we want to, and when you want your space, you can have it.
Yeah,
And that's kind of nice to be able to have your own space. Let things slow down a little bit. Let things get quiet. Live in some of your memories for a change. You know, we got some great ones. My New Year's Eves were all pretty good. I mean, we had a few clunkers, but doesn't everybody? You know? But all in all, they're all, and we're still here. You know,
yeah,
the world didn't disappear or anything, and we're doing okay.
yeah. And we're still thinking about tomorrow, you know. So, but here's another thing. Um, as you're getting older, a little bit of wisdom for the new year. When you get older, you must get a life. When you don't want to live through empty nest, I can't imagine trying to live through empty nest. Um, you know, where the kids are on their own and grown, and in my case, they're moved far away. And I thank God for technology, so we can
See them, visit them.
see them that way. Yeah. But so on the one hand, advice for older people and those who are getting older, which is like everybody, even if you were born yesterday, from the time you're born, you're just getting older. But to have a life, don't make your life dependent on. Family is one of the greatest blessings in the world, but don't make it that is your whole life. I just want you to know I'm getting a little concerned because I'm seeing check your internet connection. So we're probably blurry, and I hope you don't lose us. We are not blurry because we're drunk.
No, we're not.
We're blurry because of we're not connected. We're not correctly connected. Okay, so much for that. Now, on the younger people part, because your older elders are elder. You may not think it's fun or that you don't need to worry about them because they have a life. Uh, what we have learned and what you're learning, especially this year, you never know when that Christmas is going to be the last
Yeah,
or that New Year.
it's a sad thought, but if you had a really good life and you had good things going on, and some crappy things going on too. Everybody has that in their life. You know, kids going through different trauma and stuff. And we were lucky; we had extremely good children. We really did. They really didn't cause us any major trauma. You know, nobody got really sick. Nobody got really hurt. They all learned to drive okay. They're all good kids. You know, so we were lucky. Some people are not so lucky, and I feel very bad about that because
Yeah.
nice to have family that when we don't get together all the time, we get together when we feel like it, when we want to be with people, you know, and they all respect it. It's very, very nice. I had a nice visit with my grandchildren and great grandchildren today because I'm fortunate enough to have them right here. That's enough New Year's Eve for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't be close to my kids, and my kids had a little bit of a rougher ride uh, in that sense than yours did. You know, tough times and disruption and stuff like that. And again, we all made it through. And as far as having good kids goes, I have good kids.
Oh yeah.
I have kids I am proud of. Even the ones that were the ones that made me pull most of my hair out and
That was your problem.
got me
See,
gray.
start pulling your hair out.
That,
Not thinking about the right things.
but even they have come through and been heroes coming through the tough times. I'm just so proud of all of my kids and grandkids and my great grandson who is one of the lights in my
You
life.
see some of the horrible things that are going on with families and stuff like that now. We're both really lucky. We really are. Whether you're close to them or whether you're far away from them, there's still blood in it, and it runs deep. You know.
Yeah, and it's not always comfortable, but we
Well, not
have
everything
to
we
try
we're
to.
doing is.
Well, and sometimes you just have to suck it up and take a step and be the first one to step forward. You know what two of the hardest things in the world to say are?
I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I'm never sorry. No, I'm only kidding. Yeah, I'm sorry is a real tough one.
And then there's a three-letter phrase that's harder than that.
I forgive you.
Nope. But that's a toughie.
Yeah, yeah.
I was wrong.
But when you're not wrong,
I just hit myself. Karma.
Well,
That was
or-
called instant karma. You go to hit somebody else and you hit yourself in the face. Oh lordy. I'm just taking a little look at my notes to see if
I got a little thing to tell you that we the other day when before Christmas we had stocking filling things going on and stuff like that. And when we were talking to you, I was talking to you about things that I love getting for Christmas. Paper dolls, you know. You might get it if you're a paper doll person, but if you're not, you might not get it. But really, really, just listen. Um, when we were at the store doing stocking stuffing stuff, I came across a paper doll book because my sister's going, look at what I found, look what I found, look what I found.
I was gonna say
See, I didn't forget you. I never forget. So I looked at it and I said, maybe this would work. It was just a skimpy little book. It wasn't like what I used to get, but it was, you know, a nice little book. It had paper dolls on the front cover and the back cover and clothes in between. So I bought it and I said, what the heck, what have I got to use? She's probably too sophisticated for that, but you never know. And wrapped it up, put it in the stocking, and she opened it up, and within 20 minutes, half an hour, the stockings were all emptied out. Everybody loved all their stuff. And my granddaughter was sitting at the kitchen table putting together her paper dolls, and she didn't even know that how much I loved them. And that's why I explained to her how she could make new clothes for them and everything. And she actually acted like she was interested. There's where the connection is. It's my great granddaughter. It's not my granddaughter or my daughter. It's my great granddaughter. And maybe paper dolls will come back. You never know.
paper dolls.
Paper, what did I say?
Paper dolls.
Paper dolls. No, I said
Oh, did
paper
you?
doll.
You know what? Nowadays we can play it back.
Yes, you can.
Just saying. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking that's what's on this little list, and so I'm thinking that we got everything we needed to done, and so you see this list on two sides, and this list didn't get done, so we're probably going to have Christmas every day for a while. Well, we will get to
We can
that.
save some of it up till next Christmas if we have to.
Well, that makes us stay alive.
There's a good reason, right? Because everybody wants to see
staying
us.
alive.
If
Staying
we don't get
alive.
any responses in there, we may stop.
That's right. No, I don't care if
You're
any
going to make a silly fool out of yourself for so many years.
till I die,
Right?
and then it'll stop because you're not going to do it without me.
That's a point. I can't figure out how to plug the computer in. How could I do that?
All right, guys, it was fun. We wish you a very, very happy New Year, and be safe. Drive safe. Stay home. And
Be
we'll
happy.
be back. Be happy.
Happy. That's what you got to be this year. Is be happy. Too many not happy things are going on. You can make a change.
Or you just live with it.
Yeah, that too.
You gotta live with it sometimes, you know?
That's right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And we will see you in cyberspace very soon.